seeing this on free TV? Like, why am I seeing this on?
That's good for the ratings.
It's good for the ratings, but then it's like WWE has this thing. Oh, the first time ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, another huge match, not on a pay-per-view. But we'll talk a little bit more about the Cena-Strowman match and then Brock Lesnar in a bit. But you want to move on to did you take anything down for Emma and the Emma versus Sasha match, even though...
I did.
Okay, tell me your thoughts on that.
I don't like Emma. I just don't. I don't like her as a wrestler. I feel like I kind of am getting used to her gimmick in the backstage. Like, she's just trying to be like she invented everything. Like, she's almost trying to become the women's Chris Jericho.
In a way.
In a sense. So I kind of like her persona, but as a wrestler, I just don't like. Which I heard from watching Wrestle Talk TV on YouTube that they're kind of putting Emma in more so with top tier people like Sasha Banks, and she's going to be in the Fatal 4-Way for the championship, is that they need more dominant looking women for what we can talk about later, who's coming to Raw. Yeah. So, because we already know that, she was leaving, the person who's coming, which we're talking about is Asuka, who was undefeated in NXT. They feel like that they're planning on letting her continue to be undefeated. And so if they don't have that many, dominant women, because really all they have right now for Raw is Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, the champion, and Nia Jax. So it's just 3 women. Like, pretty much Mickie James, Dana Brooks, and Emma are pretty much just like the squash matches for them, even though they should be something higher, because I do like Dana Brooke as a wrestler. I really like her. I wish they would have pushed her. But, if Asuka's really is going to do the undefeated once she comes to Raw and Bayley's injured, like, they need more people for her to look like, she's overcoming dominance instead of her just bullying other people as she gets to the top.
She might run into some trouble with Nia Jax.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I can't wait to see that
promo. She was like rolling her eyes like, yeah, you come here and see what I'll do for
right.
you.
Right.
But we know Asuka's out right now. I know she had a broken collarbone at the last NXT takeover, so hopefully they can get her back in the scene of things, maybe by Royal Rumble time or however long. I'm not sure how long it takes to recover from that type of injury, but I'm pretty sure she'll be there. They had Bliss at commentary for the match, and I think Nia came out and
they had their little beef.
Yeah, they were doing their little thing they did there with that. Sasha won with the bank statement. The crowd was very dead for this match. They could care less.
Definitely. It was a filler.
They got kind of excited when Sasha Banks came out with her entrance, and then as soon as Emma's music hit,
exactly,
it was like
Emma's not relevant right now. She's not.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, it's Emma. So, I mean, I just don't. That just kind of shows to me that she doesn't deserve to be in the title picture. I mean, there's no build for her. There's no excitement about Emma. There's no wow factor. There's only thing she really has going for her is her ring attire and the sunglasses she wears.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. But, I mean, we knew Sasha would win this match, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about irrelevant things.
That's it.
But, yeah, that's over with that segment.
What I do want to get to, which happened next, was for me was almost was my main event. And should have been closer towards the end. But I guess to keep it kind of relevant, because like you said, it got stale right there at the Sasha Banks Emma, was Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman coming out to do the promo. And my thing is, when Paul Heyman just, like, usually with Brock Lesnar, they just try to hype up the pay-per-view. This time, Paul Heyman came out to say, hey, Brock Lesnar's here to fight. He's ready. Braun Strowman, are you ready to fight? Because Brock Lesnar wants to fight. And I loved it. And how do you feel about it? I just want you to get on it before I reflect my end parts on it.
I just have so much on this.
Definitely.
Man. I love Paul Heyman. He's probably one of the best managers a wrestler could have.
He's the only one left now.
He's the only one left. Really, they don't really have anybody else that comes out and speaks for you and stuff like that. But Heyman, he gets the job across so well. I mean, like, he builds Brock in a way to where it's just like he's so good on the mic, like how there's some of the stuff he said, like, my job is to sell you on something that has already been sold.
Right.
Like, it's just like, that's perfect what you just said. And then he's like, you can't just win the title from Brock Lesnar. You have to rip it away. You have to rip it from the beast, the conqueror. You have to take, like, he gets so passionate about when he talks about Brock Lesnar. And you notice, like, Brock feeds off the energy because the shoulders start moving. He starts bouncing around. Like, he gets hyped from it. And then my favorite part was just like when he said, "Are you ready to cross the border from the safety of sports entertainment into Suplex City? Fighter, are you ready?" As they would say in the Brocktagon.
The Brocktagon. I like that.
He just builds Brock Lesnar so well. Does. It's just, I love how he does it, and it just keeps you intrigued. And Brock doesn't even have to say nothing. He does it. Just stands there and just. He
doesn't need to have mic skills. He just has to sit there and strut his shoulders, bounce a couple of times, and just fight. That's it.
Yeah, I love this segment, but I'll let you go ahead into what you thought of it.
Oh, man. What I want to get on is the actual fight. When Braun Strowman came down and they got into it. Exactly. When I tell you I love that, that is so funny to me. And he comes down and they go at it for a little bit. They scuffle a little bit. And Brock Lesnar finally gets around to suplex him. He does the first one. And Braun Strowman rolls right back up like it had no effect. You've never seen that. In all the people that Brock Lesnar's fought, you've never seen somebody just jump back up as if it never happened.
Yeah, and then you could see the expression on Brock's face because he was celebrating like,
yeah,
and then he turned around like, oh, like, what you doing back up?
Exactly. So I feel like, and then of course, Braun Strowman hit him with the choke slam and then ended him off with the power slam. This made Strowman look incredibly strong. Like, this made him look like the monster he's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So now, the only thing I'm worried about now is what they're going to do at the pay-per-view. Because to me, I feel like Braun Strowman has to win now. Just because, like, anything else, like, I mean, I guess he still looks strong now, so Brock Lesnar can win and Braun will look strong. But he just, to me, he has to win. Because, like, the two most dominant things Brock Lesnar has is, of course, his finisher, the F5, and his German suplexes. Braun Strowman shows that just throwing one at him is not going to work. So all you have left,
100 times.
Yeah, I mean, now of course, if Brock Lesnar can get on him and do a run, like how many suplexes he can do to hit 9 or 10, then of course it'll wear on him. So maybe that'll build Brock Lesnar. But I feel like, are we trying to build Brock Lesnar now, or are we trying to build Braun Strowman?
The way I look at it right now is, lately, if you notice in the last couple of feuds Brock Lesnar's had, they are allowing him to look more mortal, if anything. Yeah. Like how Joe looked really strong against Brock Lesnar, and now we're looking at Strowman is doing the same thing. I think it's good though, because we're always looking at, and then even with Goldberg, a couple of times he looked kind of weak with Goldberg. So like true. Over the last year, Brock has kind of looked more human than anything. So I like the way they're doing that, and like you said, the way they're building Strowman, he has to win. I mean, like each week he gets the best of Brock Lesnar. Like, and this time it wasn't like he came and snuck Brock from behind or anything like that. He came straight down to the ring. Okay, you want to fight? I'm here. Let's do what we got to do.
Exactly.
And he got the best of him. And then, as Paul Heyman brought up, that Corey Graves likes to say, he's been monster handled right now, pretty much. It's just like I used to always say when they first brought Braun Strowman in singles by himself, they used to have him fighting little peon wrestlers. Right. I'm like, why they won't let him fight somebody with some strength? Make him fight somebody worth fighting. Why is it every week he's fighting a Kalisto or some off-the-wall wrestler? But now he's getting into the top-tier talent. He's destroying everybody.
But you know what? I was just thinking this as you was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a concept I don't think anybody's looked at. Myself also until just now. Brock Lesnar is doing all this stuff, and so far has to no avail to Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns has fought Braun Strowman and has beaten him a couple of times. And Roman Reigns, but it's this, I guess what brings the triangle of what's all going on. Roman Reigns has been handled by Brock Lesnar, and was in the midst of overcoming him. Like, they never really finished the full match.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a sense, this could make Roman Reigns look stronger, but nobody's paying attention to it.
True.
Because, like I said, Roman Reigns has battled Braun Strowman, and they've been back and forth. It hasn't been a dominant performance either way. Mm-hmm. So, for Brock Lesnar to look minuscule to Braun Strowman right now makes Roman Reigns look better.
Yeah, because it's like, look at what Roman has done with Brock. I mean, done with Braun, and then when he fought Brock Lesnar just suplexing him
right
all over the place. But you bring up a good point with that, because it's like, you know, Braun Strowman. Maybe I know this is the first time him and Brock really have gotten really engaged. We've seen a couple of stare downs between them, but they never got physical until he got awarded the title match, and then we saw what he did at SummerSlam to Brock. So, like I said, I've never seen anybody handle Brock Lesnar the way that Strowman is doing now. And then Roman Reigns, he's had some good showings against Strowman, but then when he fights against Brock, it's like, you can't. If you can do this to Strowman, you should at least be able to,
especially
get the advantage over Brock.
To what Braun Strowman is doing to Brock Lesnar right now. So it's like, in a sense, right now, it looks like Roman is really the top person as compared to the two, because Brock Lesnar is now trying to overcome Braun Strowman, which now, if you look at it that way, because if he is supposed to hold the title until WrestleMania before his contract ends, that's just building Brock Lesnar up into whoever he faces at WrestleMania, which of course possibly could be Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's what the rumor is. So.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then I guess that's building to that feud subliminally, because like I said, nobody's looking at the comparison between who Braun Strowman and Roman versus Braun Strowman and Brock. But I still wish that Braun Strowman wins the title, because I feel like he deserves it now. He's actually in the best part of his career. Even though he's young, he's definitely hitting at the top right now. So I definitely think he needs to get it. And also with Roman Reigns, we're talking about Roman Reigns because, like you said, as you stated earlier, they've been making Brock Lesnar look more mortal. So maybe this could be implying that this last run for Brock Lesnar is his last. He could be like fully committing to UFC when the contract ends, or however he does it. But one thing I was thinking of, which I think would be good, as to making someone strong, because like as you say, Paul Heyman's great at talking. He's great at making somebody look stronger than what it is. Even with Brock Lesnar feud with Samoa Joe, he made Samoa Joe look stronger just by talking about the conflict between the two, even before they got physical. I think if Brock Lesnar is over, Paul Heyman's next Heyman guy should be Roman Reigns.
Could be.
If anybody is going to push Roman Reigns to be over more than anybody else, it would be Paul Heyman.
I like that idea.
I mean, because if for whatever reason this confrontation between John Cena fails and Roman Reigns still sucks as a promo person, the only way you can really devise him as a solo person, because if they don't do the Shield, he's going to be by himself, still being in title pictures. The best bet would be to have Paul Heyman. And that'll be a good kind of segue for Brock Lesnar to leave and go off into, real UFC. If they do end up having this WrestleMania match, if he beats him, Roman Reigns can be like, Paul Heyman can be like, oh, this is who I'm going to take over under my wing next. So
Yeah. And Heyman, he always has to have somebody, because we've seen him with CM Punk, we've seen him with Brock.
Yep.
And no matter who he's with as their advocate, he makes them look strong. Yeah. So,
and even with CM Punk, he pushed CM Punk until he became his own entity. So
he did. So I like the way things are going. I like the way they're continuing to make Strowman look really strong versus Brock, making Brock look more weaker by the week. Not saying, and that still doesn't hurt Brock, because we know Brock can still at any moment turn to what he needs to turn to. But right now he's just, and that could be a testament as to it's not fair that he gets to not be here so much, and then when he's here, look strong against us too.
Yeah.
Because we're carrying the show while he's not here, so when he is here, at least let some guys get some good things over on him. So I like the way that looks.
Definitely.
Going forward. We to get more into Strowman a little bit later. We know that they announced that him and Cena would fight.
Yeah.
After the big win last week he had versus the Big Show in the steel cage. So we'll get more into Strowman and Cena a little bit later. I don't know if you took this down or not. Even though Bray Wyatt just puts me. I ain't even gonna say it. You know that.